My best friend Genevieve invited me to go mountain climbing, but to our shock, we were caught in an avalanche. I risked my life for Genevieve and ended up losing my sight. Out of the blue, my childhood friend Vaughn proposed to me, vowing to care for me forever. I believed it was a sign of love until I overheard a conversation between Vaughn and Genevieve. Vaughn, it's my fault. If I hadn't insisted on playing in that snowy area, the avalanche wouldn't have happened, and Mia wouldn't have been hit by the debris. And you wouldn't have rushed to get me to the hospital, causing her blindness. Genevieve, don't feel guilty about her. Isn't this because she loves extreme challenges and wanted to climb the snowy mountain? I've agreed to marry her. That's the biggest compensation I can offer. Was all this really my own doing? But he doesn't know I have a terminal illness and won't live long. In the hospital room, I heard Vaughn and Genevieve's voices. Genevieve's voice was sweet. Vaughn, you're so kind, but what if Mia finds out? Her mom is the CEO of Han Corporation, while my mom is merely a servant in their house. If her mom finds out, she'll kill me. Vaughn replied calmly, stroking her forehead. Don't worry, I told her mom I'm taking her on a trip. She won't know. Besides, Mia has already fallen out with her mom. She willingly gave up her inheritance to work as a nanny in my house for me. How could she dare to contact her mom? And I should thank her mom. Thanks to her investment, my company was revived, and she sent many clients my way. Yet, Mia, that fool, still knows nothing. Outside the door, my legs went weak and tears silently fell. In one night, the two people I loved most betrayed me. Just hours ago, Vaughn had proposed to me, promising to protect me for life. It seems all this was just his ulterior motive, and I naively thought he was finally moved by me. A few days ago, Genevieve accompanied me for a checkup, and the usually healthy me was suddenly diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, with only 5 months left. Genevieve felt sorry for me and suggested planning a unique farewell trip. I took her advice and decided to climb the snowy mountain. Be careful, everyone. Don't climb that steep slope, it could trigger an avalanche. Years of adventure experience told me that the steep slope was dangerous. I kindly warned them, but Genevieve insisted on going up, and Vaughn let her. The snow started to slide. Realizing the danger, I rushed and pulled them to safety. The avalanche hit. Without regard for my own life, I shielded Genevieve. Before passing out, I saw Vaughn's panicked expression. He tightly hugged the unconscious Genevieve, crying for help and didn't even notice me being buried worse nearby. With all my remaining strength, I screamed for Vaughn's help. All I got was his cold response. Genevieve is more seriously injured. I'll save her first. The rescue team will come for you soon. He carried Genevieve away, leaving me buried for hours, blood streaming from my forehead. I heavily passed out. Little did I know that was the last time I would see him. If I had received timely treatment, my eyes might not have gone blind. Supporting myself against the wall, I hurriedly stood up, only to fall into a warm embrace. A familiar scent wafted over, unique to Genevieve. Mia, are you okay? Why are you here? Vaughn's voice was gentle and caring. If I didn't know the truth, I might have believed he loved me. Don't worry. I've contacted a doctor to find a suitable cornea for you. You'll recover soon. Once you do, we'll get married, and you'll see the fairy tale wedding I've prepared for you. But I won't make it. The avalanche took a toll on my body, and I don't have much time left. If you knew I wouldn't live long, would you feel sorry for me? Maybe once, but now your eyes are only for Genevieve. I pushed away from Vaughn's embrace, speaking softly, okay, I want to return to the hospital room to rest. Back in the room, they also left. Unfamiliar with the darkness, I had to ask a nurse to set my phone to blind mode. The moment I learned I was blind was scarier than the day I found out I only had 5 months left. Step by step, I learned how to use my phone, following the voiceover instructions. Even booking a ticket took me half an hour, but I finally managed to get a ticket to go home in a month. At that moment, I missed my mom so much. I should have listened to her and not left her side. I shouldn't have given up everything for someone who never loved me. I stayed in the hospital for a few days until a nurse urged me to leave, but Vaughn never came. I haphazardly packed my things and took a cab back to Vaughn's house. I didn't know my way around, using my guide cane in the hospital while the driver called me numerous times. He kept urging me to get in the car, saying I was taking too long. I could only repeatedly apologize, hoping for his patience. But once he knew I was blind, he cursed at me. Damn, blind fool, wasting my time. You should have said you couldn't see earlier, making me waste time on this job. Then the phone announced the driver had canceled the ride. Feeling helpless, I curled up in a corner, feeling the injustice of fate. I hadn't done anything wrong, yet why did misfortune keep finding me? Tears streamed down my face. Suddenly, a hand gently wiped my tears away, and a voice full of concern said, Mia, what happened? Did Vaughn bully you? The voice sounded like Jasper, a childhood friend who grew up with Vaughn, Genevieve, and me. I reached for his hand, holding it tightly, leaning on his shoulder as I broke down. I told him everything, detailed and honest. His words shot out like bullets, full of anger. He dared to treat you like this? I'm going to find him and get an explanation. I held him back. Forget it, I don't have much time left. When Jasper learned about my renal disease, his tears fell on my hand, and I heard his choked voice. He promised to find a suitable cornea and kidney for me and took me home. I unlocked the door with my fingerprint, slowly walking inside. Halfway through, I heard the sound of smacking lips and familiar man's gasps reaching my ears. I slammed my guide stick heavily on the ground, feeling my way forward. They finally heard me. Genevieve walked up and took my hand. Mia, you're back. Why didn't you call us? Her tone made it seem like they were the family, and I was the outsider. But this house was bought by my mom out of concern for me. Back when Vaughn's family faced bankruptcy, and Vaughn was penniless, I pitied him and let him move in with me. I don't know when it had become Vaughn's house. Vaughn awkwardly said, "It's good you're back. I'll make dinner. You girls can chat." Once Vaughn left, Genevieve disdainfully let go of my hand. Mia, why did you come back? You don't have many days left. Why come back to dirty my eyes? What bad luck? My once gentle best friend Genevieve now showed her true colors. She was so eager for my death. I'm such a fool to see the true colors of these two beasts now. Were you disappointed I didn't die in the avalanche? I'm curious. You used to like Jasper. Why do you now like Vaughn? Genevieve laughed lightly, of course, because Vaughn has money now. Jasper is just a poor doctor. What future does he have? But Vaughn, having revived Vaughn Enterprises, is someone worth loving. I see. Genevieve was a self-serving opportunist from the start, and Vaughn was just a stepping stone for her climb. Anyway, you won't live long. For old time's sake, I won't mind you staying here, but don't push it or else. Vaughn interrupted us. Dinner's ready. I couldn't believe Vaughn would cook. In all the years I pursued him, he never cooked, and I willingly served him like a maid. But he cooked for Genevieve. I couldn't help but bitterly smile as I slowly descended the stairs. Genevieve was already downstairs, eating. I groped around the dining table, taking 5 minutes to find the small kitchen. During those 5 minutes, Vaughn didn't help me. All I heard was their chewing. And then my stomach embarrassingly growled. It prompted Genevieve's mockery. Vaughn, look, isn't Mia funny? She got tired and hungry just looking for a place to eat. Vaughn said, what a waste. Can't even find a chair to sit on just because she's blind. Vaughn impatiently said, walk 5 steps forward, and you're there. Once I sat down, I heard them moving their chairs to leave. They finished eating, and when I picked up my chopsticks and fumbled for food, the plates were already empty. My stomach grumbled loudly at that moment, breaking the silence. Genevieve laughed at the sound. Vaughn, isn't it amusing how Mia got so tired and hungry just from looking for a place to eat? Vaughn chimed in impatiently, what a waste. Just because you're blind doesn't mean you can't find a chair to sit on. He continued brusquely, walk 5 steps forward, and you'll be there. Once I managed to sit down, I heard them pushing their chairs back to leave. They had finished eating, and when I reached for food with my chopsticks, the plates were empty. They had cleared everything, leaving me only plain white rice. I ate the rice, tears silently falling as I did. Then, the phone rang. Hello, Mia, I've found a cornea for you. I'll pick you up for surgery tomorrow. Hearing this wonderful news, I cried tears of joy, feeling like fate was giving me one last chance to see the world before I died. Choking up, I said, thank you, Jasper. Genevieve suddenly appeared beside me. Mia, Vaughn and I have a business trip coming up. Take care of yourself, okay? Yeah, don't wander off. I'll arrange for a nanny to look after you. It was a blessing in disguise. I didn't want Vaughn to know about my surgery. If he knew, he would prevent me from going. He had promised a grand wedding once I could see, but if I remained blind, he wouldn't have to marry me, right? I agreed casually. I stayed in the villa all afternoon, but the nanny never came. I couldn't help but mock myself. Vaughn probably never intended to hire a nanny for me. Using the phone's voice assistant, I tried to order food delivery. But the villa area wasn't within the delivery range. I went to bed hungry, just hoping tomorrow would come quickly. Early the next morning, Jasper came to pick me up. In the silent car, my stomach growled again, but Jasper didn't say anything. After getting out, he took me to a restaurant to eat before heading to the hospital. Jasper accompanied me for tests, and while waiting for the results, the doctor came with bad news. Sorry, another patient has already used the cornea. You'll have to come back another time. I felt like a snuffed-out candle, all light gone from my eyes. Jasper burst out, Dr. Ashley, how could this happen? You promised it to me. Dr. Ashley lowered her voice. Jasper, I know, but that person is a major investor in our hospital. We can't afford to offend them. Just wait a bit longer. I'll let you know as soon as another one becomes available. Jasper's voice was sharp and urgent. Tell me who it is, and I'll sort it out. The commotion drew a crowd, and surprisingly, Vaughn was among them. What's going on? Jasper, why did you bring Mia here?